Everybody has something to give, and you will immediately start feeling a wealth of boosts and benefits to your own well-being, to your own self. Once you begin the practice, and begin the practice, as early as you can.
Hello, everyone. Today we have an amazing guest here at the MindShift show. We have Jeffrey Landi. We're going to be talking about an amazing experience that he's had to help people shift the way that they look at the world. And he'll be giving us some tips and some insights. Welcome to our show, Jeffrey.
Rocío, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Now, you and I were talking about some amazing experiences that you've had in Nicaragua, and how that's completely transformed the way that you look at the world and how you contribute to the world. Please share some of those things.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm here in San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua, talking to you, staring at this beautiful ocean, and I'm just I'm so pleased and fortunate to be in this place, which is a beautiful country. It's a difficult place, and I think we were talking about, um, well, let me just take a pause. I was talking to you about living the messages of a parent, and I try and often find myself talking to my two children. We're 22 and 19 now, and in those college years and those years of exploration, self-discovery, um, that the world needs you. You know, they're not putting so much pressure on it, but I tell them the world needs you, and you have talents, and you have something to give. And so I find myself 5, 6 years ago, after a career in technology, which was provided good sustenance for my family, but sort of became a bit empty calories for my heart and my brain, seeking something more meaningful. And in a simple trip to Nicaragua, and I do have a long history of travel and adventure, and I've been to 37 countries in this world. I'm so fortunate to be able to see the world. This place just struck my imagination and just shot a bolt through my heart. And this is basically the place where I'm living up to those messages that I talk to my kids about.
That's beautiful that you get to travel and you get to see the world. I know that travel, I always expand. I am a different person every time I visit a different community, a different country, a different location, family. It's like the world is different. I'm a different person.
Yeah, I mean,
It feels
you come back, and if you've done it well, if you've opened up your heart and your mind, and you've make sure that your feet are on the ground, right, and you're seeing places not from a car window, but from the earth, then it should enter you in a different way. And that's what this country did to me. And I know, in our country, in the United States, I get the question a lot. Well, Nicaragua, why Nicaragua? Nicaragua is unsafe, and all of these preconceptions that we've had based on history and based on, and I know now nothing could be further from the truth. It's a difficult place. It's a poor place, but it is a place full of beauty, and the people are just absolutely amazing. However, I'm here, I built a home, and I simply wasn't going to be a person who transports their fortune to another place, to sort of wrap yourself in a bubble and enjoy all the fruits of this place without noticing and really giving back to the communities here. And that's what I've done. So over the last 5, 6 years, I've been working on a couple of projects here that are oriented around foundational human needs: healthcare, education, and work.
That's beautiful, Jeffrey, when you talk about you're not just there to take the fruits. You're there to make an impact, and that changes you even more as a human being to understand that it doesn't matter where I go. It could be, you know, a different part of the US, it could be Nicaragua, it could be any country.
Yes.
That when we look at it through that lens of making a difference, first, the misconceptions that we have when we're not connected to or not familiar with. And second, am I being a contribution, which in the end is being a contribution to self as well, while we're making a difference in other people's lives.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely give more than we take. Oh, you've tapped into something else, which is um, a lot of the work that I've been doing here and trying to work on is also therapy for me. You know, I've had difficulties in my life. I've had some difficulties with my daughter that was a driving force into being able to put energy out into the world that was positive and to sort of help deal with some of that trauma in a way that I felt like I was basically redirecting some of those experiences out into something that I had a little bit more control over, where I could help make an impact.
Mm, that's beautiful. Now, you talked about the impact that you're doing out there with the dental work. What does it really mean to be out there, and what's the ripple effect of your work right now?
Yeah, I mean, so basically, there's a philanthropic project called Sonrisas Felices, which means happy smiles in Spanish. And it has two parts. Rocio, we have a mobile dentistry program. We've serviced over 10,000 individuals, children and adults in the community with basic dental services, education about oral health. We give them all kits. And what we're hearing from the director of the hospital, who's my partner in this program, as well as the community leaders in these remote villages that we go to, is that there's a transformation happening in their communities in the way that people just think about their own self-care. You know, obviously, this is a place as well that's dealing, like lots of countries, with an invasion of ultra-processed foods and things that are unhealthy making their ways into the households. And so some of those habits, some of those bad habits are also a force against this. But the feedback we're getting from people is unequivocal, and I see it every day. We do 3 clinics a week, and especially with the children, we are repairing lots of teeth. Lots of molars are getting fixed out there. We half of our kids didn't have a toothbrush ever in their lives, and we've completely changed that in the entire municipality. Every child is getting a toothbrush twice a year. So the impact has been steep.
Wow, and you talk about impact, you talk about it being therapeutic to you. And it's so interesting when we don't think about that, when we're of service, when we bring our gifts to other people, when we fill the needs for others. Not only is the community transforming and looking at themselves differently,
Yes.
focusing on that, you're also transforming. And I get that even with my own work. Every time I coach somebody, every time I do events, whether it's live, in person, wherever, online, my life is better as a result of bringing my gifts to the world.
That's right. That's exactly right. I guess call it the butterfly effect that happens, you know, within oneself that then spreads to others around you. And it's just propelled me forward. You know, it all started with this concept of unlikely concept of oral health in this community. And now it's kind of snowballed. I sponsor 3 girls in college, full ride public university scholarships. One of them is a dental student. She goes to Managua, and here we go with like sort of the butterfly effect in that should come back. I'm a big fan, a big believer in this sort of incubator type of concept, or I call it the caldo de cultivo, which is Frances gets a scholarship. She learns dentistry. She comes back into her community, joins Sonrisas as a dentist, and gets to service her own community in this respect, and around we go.
Wow.
So that's the second part of Sonrisas is sponsoring girls, because I am and the data is clear. This isn't just my opinion. I think the single most powerful, effective way to lift up a community and a multi-generational family as well is through education for girls. So that's that. And then fast forward a couple of years, this has been in place for 4.5 years now, Sonrisas. 2.5 years ago, a partner and I started a business, right? We wanted to focus on employment, okay? There's not a lot of opportunities and so much future here that people are seeing for themselves in Nicaragua, which is why a lot of people are leaving the country. And so we spun up a small business that's a restaurant and a plant nursery, a vivero. And we wanted to provide opportunities, not just to anybody, but to differently abled Nicaraguans. These are people that had no shot at work, living in the shadows of society and sort of languishing at home. And so we have deaf staff that we've hired in both of these businesses. Most of these folks had never worked before, and it's just been a mind-blowing experience trying to make this business work and seeing these beautiful young people gain the confidence and experience that all those things, that good things that come with having a job.
Wow, that's amazing that you get to see the need and you get to create opportunities for people where other people would have never considered creating opportunities. I think you and I talked about how easy it is to go into a country and enjoy the fruits over and over again, maybe even leveling up our lifestyle because we can afford more and we can enjoy more. Yet, are we contributing to the very place that we're taking that's contributing to us? What does that look like to be of contribution? And whether it's in Nicaragua, whether it's in Italia, wherever it's at, it could be next door. It could be at the Boys and Girls Club, taking a different look and seeing that our impact, it could be huge. Even a simple conversation with children, teachers, the elderly, whoever we're looking beyond to make an impact in their life is to make an impact in our lives. It's really interesting. The
I mean,
subconscious mind doesn't even know if we're making a difference in somebody's life or we're making a difference in our life.
right.
It
Yeah,
accepts it all the same.
that's right. That's exactly right. And you're right, right? It doesn't have to be, I mean, I came to a bit of a far-flung place from where I was from, but certainly could just be right in your own backyard. And
It's
that is the imprint that I'm trying to leave on this planet and leave on my loved ones and my children and others that I'm close with.
right. If we were to take you and teleport you into the future, at the older self life, you're talking to your great grandchildren, what
Mm.
would you tell them?
Well, I would just start. I'd probably just start with where we began this conversation, and it's very likely that things aren't going to get easier on this planet for humankind. They're probably going to start getting more difficult, and that they need to um, value themselves in a way that that shows up in how they relate to others and to the planet. And so I just think that everybody has something to give, and you will immediately start feeling a wealth of boosts and benefits to your own well-being, to your own self, once you begin the practice and begin the practice, as early as you can. And that would be my old man message to
Oh, wow. All right.
grandchildren.
And that could be
No,
your
I'm going to have grandchildren. I know it. My kids love kids,
oh,
and
love
and
that.
they talk about it. So
There you go. There you go. You get to have those conversations. I love having conversations with my grandchildren and the younger generation, as that's very insightful. parting words, anything that you want to share that you'd say, hey, I want people to know this. What golden nuggets would you leave them with?
Well, I would just tell anyone watching this to come to Nicaragua. Come to Nicaragua. A lot of people from where we're from, when they want to take vacations down in Central America, it tends to be, right, we're going to Costa Rica. And I just want you to know this is the safest country in this region. That's a fact. These people are beautiful. There's beautiful things to see and do. Don't be afraid, and come check it out. I'm nothing if an ambassador, basically, to the United States and to my community for this country. And I've had dozens of people come visit me, family and friends, and they've all walked away just with wide open eyes at the beauty of the place.
Beautiful. Jeffrey, thank you so much for your insights, taking away so much. To our viewers, thank you so much for being here today. I invite you to take 5 minutes, do 3 things based on being here today. Is it about looking, maybe volunteering at a different place? And you know exactly where it is that's important for you to connect with, to do, to be, to have. You know exactly what that is. And I invite you to watch this show over and over again. Find out what else is there for you. I know every time I watch something, sometimes 10, 15 times, I'll be laughing because I didn't hear something before. It's the same concept here. It inspires things inside of us for us to look into. We look forward to seeing you on the next show, and make it amazing.